This is the WHTC Morning News with Gary Stevens and Peg McNichol on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
Welcome back to the WHTC Morning News for this Thursday, August 5th. Thursday mornings at this time, it is Destination Downtown. Find out what's going on in downtown Holland and also a little bit about travel and tourism in the Tulip City with the Executive Director of the Holland Area Visitors Bureau. Linda Hart joins us via the Zoom connection this morning. Linda, good morning. Welcome back to WHTC.
Good morning. How are you today?
Not too bad. Looks as if you are working out of the Civic Center today.
Yep. First Thursday of the month, there's a PSD board meeting at 8 o'clock. So perfect to do it from here. I just decided not to get back to the office.
That's okay. That's okay. Just looking at the different venue that you are on. Let's talk a little bit very briefly about some of the things going on in travel and tourism, most notably. The no vacancy signs are still out for many of our hotels and motels.
Wow, they certainly are. And, we get to a point in August where we're starting to think, well, it's going to start slowing down. Kids are going back to school, but no, absolutely not. We are still full steam ahead. And actually through the month of August, going into September and even October, Gary, a lot of our hotels have zero availability that far ahead. So people are still wanting to get out and travel. We really believe that all of those folks who were afraid or maybe uncomfortable to get out during those heavy crowds during the summer months are going to take an opportunity when it's a little cooler and a little less busy to make their way to West Michigan.
Travel, of course, is certainly one thing that'll bring people into town, but a lot of it has to center around Hope College with the classes beginning later this month, and especially for the freshmen and new students. Parents are going to be probably taking them down, and if they're out of town, usually the school has many activities for that weekend when they do check in. But also, we got the football games and the homecoming and a lot of things that probably goes into why the no vacancy signs are out right now.
That's exactly right. I think the third weekend in October is homecoming. And, that's going to be a big weekend. But just like you said, when the parents move the kids back in and when they come back to visit and all of those activities, it's just going to continue, which is great for Holland.
Hopefully, and it looks like it's going to be pretty nice, generally clear. A few passing clouds is in the forecast, and there's only 3 more street performers Thursday night performances, one tonight in the next couple of weeks, and then we say goodbye until next June.
I know. Can you believe it? Yeah. So 3 more street performers. There is, I do want to point out, to save the date for the last street performers, Gentex is hosting a block party down at the Civic Center from 6:30 to 8:30. So live music, they're giving away free hot dogs. They're going to have the Polar Patrol, some gun cakes, just an appreciation to say thanks to the community. And that'll be the last Thursday for the street performers, which would be August 19th. How to get that out?
Yep, 2 weeks from today. Meanwhile, the last show for the Hope Summer Repertory Theater is tonight. A movie that gained a lot of critical acclaim is being brought to the stage by the Hope Summer Rep Theater.
Yeah, absolutely. So tonight is the last showing for the performers, and that will be Children of a Lesser God. That begins at 7:30. I did forget to mention earlier that Frog and Toad is actually playing this afternoon at 1:30. So 2 more shows left today, and then the theater's going to wrap it up for the season, but we're looking to do bigger and better things. And I don't know how you can get bigger or better, but we certainly can in the upcoming years for the Repertory Theater. So we're looking forward to working with Hope on that.
There's only 2 more Friday night Collin Park concerts on the way. Tejano music on tap tomorrow night at the Collin Park Band Show.
Yeah, so a group out of Toledo, Ohio, very popular group, and named Grupo Deseo. So, looking forward to that. It's, you get that festive, upbeat music, and, it just kind of represents all the cultures that we have here in our community, which is nice to see and listen to. So free concert over at Collin Park. So, only a couple more times to take advantage of that. Next week will be the last one. So come on out and, fingers crossed for good weather.
Let us hope so for tomorrow as well. Of course, our friends in Zeeland looking forward to having good weather for their Chalk Fest tomorrow night as well. Holland, of course, is known as the Tulip City because of the tulips and the Tulip Time Festival. It's the most attractive attraction on an annual basis. But Holland has been known for having other major attractions, Linda, throughout the year. Some of them are relatively new, most notably Girlfriends Weekend in March brings a lot of people into town. Another of the big events that brings a lot of people into town is coming up Saturday from 9 till 4 at Centennial Park.
Yeah, absolutely. Art in the Park. There was such a big event for Holland. We have it in the spring, like you mentioned, during the Tulip Festival, the Artisan Market, such a popular event and so important for our community and our vendors. But that is going to be, they also have it again, Friends of Art does in the fall. And that is going to be Saturday from 9 to 4, Art in the Park at Centennial Park, once a year for this group to do this artisan market. Expecting over 300 vendors in that park on Saturday. So come on out. I know that 10th Street is closed right now, difficult to navigate. So, if you're going to come on out, please make sure that there's plenty of parking throughout downtown. You just might have to walk more than a block to get to the artisan market.
Talk a little bit about this Art in the Park, Linda, because it is, to a certain extent, our version of the Great Ann Arbor Art Fair. That has got a lot of notoriety. But you know what? Holland can hold its own with that festival as well.
We really can, and it's a testament to not only our community, but to having those types of markets throughout Holland over the course of the number of years, whether it's during Tulip Time or it's the Makers Market at the Civic Center or Art in the Park. The community likes to come together. They like to support. It's almost like a farmer's market, except there's no food, except maybe the food trucks, to be able to meet and gather, be social, and support the local economy.
I hate to end our conversation on a downer note, but I do need to do so. I got to put my news director hat on, Linda, to talk a little bit about the fact that you are at a principal shopping district meeting as we speak at the Herringa Holland Civic Center place. It's our first chance to chat since word got out. We reported it last week about Tierman's going and closing its doors. We've had some closures. And change is a part of, it's a part of life, Linda. You know that as well as I do. Most notable, most recent being the Alpenrose closure at the corner of 8th and Central. What are you hearing initially about the Tierman situation? What, is it a case of we're going to get somebody else in there and we're going to fill up? Because to a certain extent, Holland's been very successful. When something leaves, something else fills the vacancy.
We didn't, it's a really great question. And a lot of people keep asking, but I have not been privy. We didn't talk about that today, aside from, Dutch Village going into the housewares section, but the other side obviously is still open for lease. So we haven't got an update on that. I did get an update on the Bowerman's restaurant. They're shooting for Thanksgiving to move into that front space of the Alpenrose and to where Sandcastle is. I do know that the Alpenrose is trying to get a tenant in that the rear section of it for some fine dining, which would be great for us. I also did hear that where West Michigan Bike and Fitness was located, that the new bookstore is expected to go in on September 2nd. So unfortunately, I don't have any information about Tierman's. It is, there's a lot of, you read it on social platforms, Holland Informed, about Tierman's, that it's so unfortunate because they were such a mainstay, just like Alpenrose was, kind of like the peanut store is, but we wish them well. And I'm sure I'm sure the space will get filled quickly.
Yeah, the thing I'm pointing out is the fact that when we have lost some businesses moving out, others have filled the void, Linda, most notably. And
yes, absolutely.
And the other thing is when it hasn't been filled, other people have sort of created new things. The spot where the Courtyard by Marriott, That was vacant for a while. They tore that down. Bingo. You got a new motel there where the old Pietro's is, or the old Muffler Man at the corner of 8th and Columbia. It's now a city park. You got an open space, the old Pizza Hut over on 7th and Columbia. There are some openings, but people are taking advantage of it.
Oh, absolutely. People are filling in, are taking spots even before construction begins. So people want to. There are folks and organizations who want to move into the downtown area, which not only supports our downtown, but to a lot of extent, just like you mentioned, those areas that, the building is gone, the space is there. Will extend our footprint of downtown, which is just continued growth. So that's always good to see.
Linda Hart is with the Holland Area Visitors Bureau. She is its executive director. She joins us Thursday mornings to talk about what's going on in downtown Holland. It's the Destination Downtown segment presented by the Windmill Restaurant. Linda, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and we'll talk again next week.
Sounds great. Bye, Gary.
Thank you very much, Linda Hart, on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.